can see kind of some moisture for sure outside as the showers and storms continue to make their way through some of the four states, just now hitting us here in Joplin, right there in our windows and more tower cam. Wow, it is moving in, not too bad. It's kind of scattered at the moment, but we'll see multiple rounds of this activity today. On our female first alert Doppler, you can also see off to our north some portions of our region, more so Nevada, they're seeing some flood watches. So we can see more of these start to encompass the four states as we continue to see some heavier rainfall push through. We did get bumped up from a marginal risk to a slight risk for excessive rainfall, so that might be bringing in some flooding risk for us. But these wind gusts, so we're going to see some stronger gusts here and there, ranging all the way from about 25 to close to 35 miles an hour. Some drops are expected here and there, but as we shift into tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, we should start to see things kind of decrease a little bit. But I mean, we're still going to see a reinforcement of this activity in the coming days as multiple rounds of showers and storms are going to take over the four states. So right now we have this upper level low pressure system right here and also a stationary front that's right through us right now. So that's what's kind of stirring up a lot of this shower and storm activity, but we're going to see more of these bring in some possible severe threats as we track into our afternoon and evening, but we're just getting started with the first round really of today for the majority of us. But by around 9 p.m. tonight, look at this right here. We are going to see some nasty storms, possibly some stronger storms, bringing in some of that heavier rainfall, lightning as well, and then possibly the severe threat of some hail and also some winds, but all threats are possible with these showers and storms. Then we're going to be tracking another upper level low pressure system that's going to drag a cold front through as we get into tomorrow. Now, for the most part, a lot of the showers and storms that are going to be coming in for tomorrow are going to bring threats further off to our east outside of the region, at least as of right now. Then the closer we do get to Friday, we're going to start to see this dry line shift up a bit. By Friday, we have another cold front that is going to come in, and this cold front might bring in more of these winds for us, but we'll see more shower and storm chances the closer we get into Friday afternoon and evening. But this is our severe outlook for today, so I want you guys to look at this right here because we have actually seen some changes from where we were earlier this morning. So portions now of southeast Kansas have been increased to a 3 out of 5 risk for severe threats. Now, earlier this morning, it was further off to our west near Wichita, but now some of the four states is under a 3 out of 5 risk. Then as we continue to shift off to the east, you see a 2 out of 5 risk and then a 1 out of 5 risk. So basically, again, biggest threats are going to be hail and more so those winds coming in. And when winds do pick up a bit, it does become a really big severe threat for us. So you do want to be aware of that because winds can cause damage, and we do still have a possible tornado threat as well, just not necessarily as high as the winds and hail. We are also checking on our rainfall outlook as I was talking about earlier because we do have that slight risk 2 out of 4 to see some of that heavier rainfall for a majority of the four states. Then as you extend further off to the east, it turns to marginal. But then let's shift all the way over to Friday. Tomorrow's storms are not predicted to bring us any severe activity, but if you're headed towards Springfield tomorrow, you might see that marginal 1 out of 5 risk. But Friday, once again, we do have another risk for us. All threats are possible. We'll be tracking those storms the closer we do get to the end of our work week, but most of us are under that 2 out of 5 risk. But surprisingly, over the next 6 to 10 days, rain is going to drop off a bit for us. We're going to see a bit more of that this week, which is desperately needed as drought is encompassing the entire four states region. But we're seeing that warmer air be ushered in today with a lot of those southerly winds, bringing our highs into the 70s and 80s. But as we drop into this evening, lows are going to shift. We'll see some 60s on the board for us tonight. Now here's a look at your KSM forecast from the Local Weather Authority. Today we are going to see one happy Wednesday. We've made it to the midweek mark and the clouds are starting to show throughout the four states. On our windows and more tower cam though, we are relatively dry right now. We're not seeing too much going on. More so, a lot of this is shifting off to the northeast, and those are just the leftover showers and storms from earlier this morning. But the showers and storms are just getting started. We are going to see more of this build in as we get into the afternoon and evening mark for us. On our female first alert Doppler though, we're seeing all the way from the 50s to the 70s this morning, but that moisture coming in is making it feel a lot warmer. And it's invecting in from the southerly winds. We're also expected to experience some gusts today, close to about 25 all the way to 35 miles an hour. Right now the winds though aren't too bad. We've been very windy over the last several days, so we're getting a little bit of a morning break before things start to pick up again. So right now we have this upper level low off to our west. We have the stationary front that's shaping up to make its way through the region. So that, in addition to a dry line, is going to bring in the chance for some showers and storms. Now, as I said, most of this is going to come in this afternoon, also going into our evening. And by tonight, around 9 p.m., a lot of this is is going to be off to our west, making its way closer to the region. We're seeing this dry line right here. We have more of that moisture to our southeast, and then also to the west and to the north, we're seeing more of that drier air. So the combination of the two kind of mixing might bring in some of that instability and fuel some of these showers and storms as well ahead of this cold front that's also going to be pushing in as we get into tomorrow. So cold front will be through the region going into tomorrow. Most of the convective activity or storms for us are going to be moving in as we get off to tomorrow to our east. So tomorrow for the 4 states, we have no severe risk for us, but that is always likely or could change for us. We'll be tracking that. But then we have another wave coming in as we get into Friday with a chance to see more showers and storms come in. So as I've talked about throughout our week, we've had multiple chances to see showers and storms, and that started last night, and that'll push all the way into Saturday. But for today/tonight, we have a slight risk for some of us off to our west, really west of I-49. That is going to bring that 2 out of 5 risk. Main threats for all of us today is going to be more so some winds and also some instances of some hail as well. Then to our east, we're experiencing or set to experience a 1 out of 5 risk, marginal risk for the same threats. But as we get into this evening, we can't forget the rain as well. Some of this is going to be coming down on the heavier side, and we have that slight risk more so off to our west. That is going to be that 2 out of 4 risk, and then that marginal risk for excessive rainfall for the rest of us. So that is going to also possibly bring in the threat for some flooding if enough rain kind of comes in quickly and on the heavier side. So be mindful of that. But then shifting to Friday, at the end of our work week, we have a slight risk, 2 out of 5 for the entire 4 states area. All threats are possible, and even all threats are possible today as well. But again, main ones are going to be wind and hail. We'll be looking at the threats as we get into Friday as of right now, but we're still waiting to see these showers and storms and how they track into today. So that'll give us a better outlook going into the next few days for us. Rain is going to kind of die down a bit throughout the next week, so that is going to change for us. Not good as far as the drought goes, because we are still seeing drought encompass the entire 4 states region. But our highs for today, we're in the 80s and in the 70s, around 81 in Miami, 79 in Joplin, and also 81 in Bentonville. But as we drop into this evening, those lows are going to shift into the 60s. It'll be mild for us tonight. Now here's a look at your KSM forecast from the Local Weather Authority. Today's high is going to be around 79.